Invite viewers to post their location and local time. He waits a beat, then rolls straight into the memory that still wakes him up at night the day he made a promise. It wasn't grand, not like scaling Everest or building a skyscraper. No, his vow was for something simple, almost laughably ordinary, a driveway. A long, smooth, wide-open stretch where his 8-year-old son Leo could finally roll without hitting a wall. Leo's chair, a gleaming chariot of chrome and rubber, handled tight apartment hallways like a battleship in a kiddie pool. That driveway was freedom in poured concrete form. He worked for it like a man possessed. Double shifts, midnight freelance gigs, swallowing his pride in conference rooms where his suit was the only one not tailored on Savile Row. Historians still argue whether ambition kills faster than stress, but he figured both had shaved a few years off his life. Then came the day the realtor dropped the keys into his palm. Oakwood estates, manicured lawns, oaks older than statehood, and neighbors who waved without meaning it. He carried Leo out before the boxes were unpacked, set him on that pristine slab, and watched the boy roll, turn, glide back with a grin big enough to power Times Square. For a week, that driveway was a racetrack, a dance floor, a NASA launch pad. Then the dragon woke. She lived next door in a house like a frozen museum, hair sprayed into a helmet wearing pink and green like a personal hazard sign. Her eyes caught on Leo's wheels, lingered. No hello, just a frown as sharp as a paper cut. The paper cuts multiplied HOA notes about a cheerful pinwheel garbage bins 2 inches too far forward. He complied, thinking it would end. Instead, she escalated. One perfect Tuesday, he came home to her towering over Leo, finger-jabbing, spitting venom about you people and damaged pavement. He wedged himself between them, voice low enough to crack stone. She staggered back in fake shock, phone in hand, 911 on speed dial. Minutes later, red-blue lights lit the street. The officers saw a concerned citizen and a tall black man in a suit beside a silent, disabled child. She told her story with Broadway polish, even turned Leo's nonverbal nature into supposed fear of his own father. It was a masterclass in weaponized perception. The cops left with only a warning for her, but the damage was done. 3 days later came the cream-colored envelope, HOA violation for unauthorized heavy-duty wheeled conveyance damaging community property, $500 fine. They'd classified Leo's chair like it was a dirt bike. The goal was clear: erase him. Then came the knock from CPS allegations, twisted from truth until the floor seemed to drop beneath his feet. That's when he knew this wasn't a cranky neighbor. This was war. He spends the next few days in a fog pacing the kitchen while the CPS caseworker's clipboard still burns in his memory. Compliance was a dead strategy. If the dragon was an architect of misery, then he'd have to become an archaeologist of her past. He starts digging public records, property deeds, old neighbors' phone numbers. The Millers, the Patels, each story the same petty complaints ballooned into year-long campaigns, wielding HOA bylaws like a fencer's rapier. One even mentioned her nephew in the city planning department, a convenient ally for flagging problem properties. But knowledge alone wouldn't stop her. He needed a sword. The big money firms just shrugged, too messy, hard to prove intent, just pay the fine. Then above a pizza shop, he meets Anya. Jeans, sharp eyes, and zero patience for bullies. This isn't an HOA dispute, she says, leaning forward. It's a civil rights case. We're going to fight her and win. Her first move, turn his home into a fortress. Visible security cameras aimed at the driveway, porch, and yard. No sneaking this time. We want her to see them. Anya grins. Let her know she's the unwitting star of your documentary. Next, the harassment log dates times every glance, note, and impact on Leo's mood. One absurd entry lands almost instantly an HOA notice claiming the security cameras themselves are an unapproved cosmetic alteration. Historians still argue whether irony is fatal, but it nearly makes him choke. Then Anya files for 10 years of HOA, meeting minutes, financials, and complaints. The board stonewalls, missing the legal deadline, a gift for their case. They're hiding something, she says, already drafting a petition to compel a judge's order. The real stage, though, will be the annual HOA meeting, usually a sleepy dozen residents nodding through garden budgets. This year, word spreads. The Millers and Patels whisper to friends, silent neighbors start marking their calendars. The night arrives cold and wet. He wears the same suit from the driveway incident armor now. The room is packed, faces he knows avoiding his eyes. At the front sits the dragon in a navy blazer, smile rehearsed. The usual drudgery drones on until open forum. Anya signed him up. She can't block it. He steps to the lectern, voice quiet but carrying. He tells them about the promise, the joy, the $500 fine for tire marks. He reads the notice aloud, lets the words unauthorized, heavy-duty wheeled conveyance hang in the air. Murmurs ripple. He recounts the police call, the CPS knock. Then Anya cues the audio from his porch camera, a week-old clip of her spitting you and your damaged property. Gasps. An elderly man stands, rose bushes fined for years. A woman police called on her skateboarding team. One by one, stories flood the room. Her mask cracks. The board suspends her presidency on the spot. A week later, she resigns. HOA rescinds the fine. CPS closes the case. On paper, victory. In reality, the driveway feels different now. Leo edges out cautiously, always glancing next door. The dragon's gone, but the scorch marks remain. The sold sticker goes up next door like a white flag, and for a moment the air feels lighter. Then a Saturday morning brings the moving truck, and with it, Sarah. Banana bread in hand, smile warm enough to melt street ice. She apologizes before she's even through the gate. "That was my mother," she says, eyes glistening. "I'm so sorry for what she put you through." Against every instinct, he lets her in. She kneels to Leo's level, speaks to him with gentle warmth, and for the first time in months, Leo's guarded eyes soften. The weeks that follow are a slow drip illusion of neighborly bliss, playdates with her son Jacob, pasta dishes at the doorstep, blankets fetched when the breeze picks up. Leo starts spinning in his chair again, showing off his supernova turns. It's intoxicating, this return to community. But small oddities pile up. She notices when his lawyer visits. She wipes down his spare wheelchair, casually invoking her mother's obsession with property upkeep. The real fracture comes on the porch one evening, Sarah proposing a fundraiser to send Leo to a Swiss clinic for experimental treatment. Historians still argue whether malice is more dangerous in a smile or a snarl, but he hears the echo of her mother's verdict: fix him, make him fit. He refuses. The warmth cools to polite frost. Jacob's visits stop, and the ache in Leo's eyes says everything. Anya never trusted Sarah, and her digging turns up the truth. Sarah is a senior VP at Apex Development, a juggernaut buying up the block. The old harassment wasn't just spite, it was strategy devaluing holdouts. With the mother gone, the daughter tried a softer acquisition friendship as leverage. One evening, he confronts her at the property line. "Apex Development," he says. Her smile evaporates, replaced by corporate steel. "You should have taken the win," she warns. "Now it's zoning laws, eminent domain, and lawyers who'll bury you." She glances toward Leo in the window, voice cold as ledger ink. "You have no idea the war you just declared." The driveway fight was only the prologue. The battlefield now stretches beyond HOA lawns into courts, city halls, and boardrooms. He lingers on the porch that night, watching Leo wheel slow circles in the living room, the boy's silhouette framed in warm light. The war ahead will be longer, meaner, fought in arenas with no neighbors watching. But he knows the shape of his promise now. It's not just a strip of concrete. It's the right for his son to exist without negotiation. The pace of the memory softens as if the frame rate of the world drops to half speed. Rain from somewhere far off perfumes the night air, and the street glistens under the sodium glow of lamplight. Inside, the hum of Leo's chair is the only sound, its quiet rhythm like a heartbeat the house leans toward. He thinks about all the shapes the enemy has taken: blunt, snarling bigotry, sugar-dusted diplomacy, legal threats printed on crisp letterhead, and how each has tried to whittle down the same thing: joy. He lets the thought roll slowly like a marble across the kitchen table. Wars don't end with signatures, he decides, but with the stubborn daily choice to keep living in the place you claimed. His fingers rest on the cool metal of the porch rail, grounding him. In the living room, Leo turns toward the window and catches his eye. No words pass, but something quieter does a flicker, small but steady, in the boy's gaze, the kind of light you can spend a lifetime tending. He smiles back, not too big, not too fast, letting the space between them fill with the calm recognition that they are here together, still standing. A car passes, tires whispering over wet asphalt, and the sound feels like the world moving on without urgency. He thinks of tomorrow's coffee, of the way the morning sun will stripe the driveway, of how Leo might try that sharp spinning turn again. For now, the war can wait at the edges. The night belongs to them. And in the hush of the porch, with the hum of a chair and the rain breathing softly on the street, he decides that's enough for tonight.